So today we are going to discuss on @test keywords or @test parameters. The first one is data provider keyword. So what is the use of this data provider keyword is it will map the data provider annotation and the test annotation. So this keyword will tell @test method go and pick the data from this data provider. So that's what this data provider keyword will help. And @test data provider equal to, and you're providing data provider name or data provider method name. So then this test method understands, okay, so it has to go and pick the data from this data provider. So that's a first keyword. Then second keyword depends on groups. The list of groups this method depends on. The list of groups this method depends on. Like @test, so depends on groups, the group name. Depends on groups, the group name. So that means this test method depends on this group. That's the meaning of depends on, right? First this group will execute, then this test method will execute. If this group fails and this method, this test method is not going to execute. That's a depends on groups. And same way we have depends on methods. Depends on methods means the list of methods this method depends on. So @test, so depends on methods, the method name 1 and method 2. How many you want you can give. You say so only one method you can give, or more than one method you want to give, you can give. So this method will execute only after successfully completed these methods. If anyone fails also, this method is not going to execute. So that's the depends on methods, means very useful method. Basically, you can set the dependency among test methods. So one method depends on other method, then use this keyword depends on methods. Even you can set the order also with this depends on methods. Next, always run. If we set to true, this method will always going to run, even depends on method fails also. For example, this method is failed, then this method won't execute. That's a behavior. But if you put comma, so here in the @test parenthesis inside comma, one more parameter you write, always run equal to true. So like this, @test always run equal to true, comma depends on method if you write. So this T method fails also, then this T1 method will execute because you have written always run equal to true. That means you are so forcing even the depends on method fails also, you run this T1 method you are saying. So that is this always run equal to true purpose. Anything you want to execute always. So then you can use always run equal to true concept. Then description keyword. You can describe about your method with this description keyword. You can write a small description about this @test method. And enabled. So enabled is another one, whether the method, so you want to run or you want to skip it. So then if you specify @test enabled equal to false, this test method will skip automatically. That means that execution won't happen on this test. So you can skip the test case execution by just putting @test enabled equal to false. And the expected exceptions. Suppose the list of exceptions the test method is going to throw. But if no exception are different than one you specified is throwing, then the test case will be marked as a fail. And for example, you are specifying @test expected exceptions, no such element exception, and no such window exception you specified, but you got a different exception, then it will fail. If you get these two exceptions, it will pass. So that means you're expecting these exceptions. If that throws, the test case will pass. Otherwise, other exceptions throws, the test case will fail. The next keyword is groups keyword. Basically, groups keyword is mainly used for grouping the test cases, categorizing the test cases. So you want to categorize your test cases. There are so many test cases. Which test case, which category? Smoke or sanity or regression? What kind of test case is that? That categorization, if you want to do, you will use a groups keyword. Grouping in automation is quite interesting feature because so you can easily categorize your test cases based on your need. If you are not categorizing, all will be considered as a one kind of test cases. But tomorrow, your manager will ask only run smoke test case or only run regression test cases, such kind of cases. So this groups keyword is mandatory. So how you can do grouping is, so that particular @test method, you can just put and @test groups equal to group name you do. The group name can be any name. So that group name you can give to categorize that. So now this method, this test method belongs to this group. And @test groups equal to smoke, priority equal to 1, and description you can write. So this, so I am using multiple keywords by separating with the comma. Separating with the comma. So the description is a one parameter. Priority is another parameter. Groups is another parameter. So each parameter you can separate with the comma. All in the @test. These are all keywords are belongs to @test method. These keywords. So M1 belongs to smoke group. Then you can create multiple groups as well. Just write @test groups equal to curly bracket group 1 comma group 2. Group 1 comma group 2. Public void method name. Right? So that's how we can group your test cases. But if you have a grouping, then you want to run a particular group, or you want to exclude, or you want to include particular group, you want to run, then we have a include and exclude groups in the testng.xml file. So this include tag will tell you which group you want to execute. So you are instructing to testng.xml suite file, okay, which group we need to execute. That's an include tag. Exclude tag tells you the testng.xml, okay, which group we have to skip it. You're excluding that group. That means that group related test cases won't execute. That's the meaning of exclude tag. So same, you can use include and exclude tags for the @test methods also. @test methods also. Okay. Even @test methods also you can include and exclude, not only groups. So a particular class inside, you want to exclude some @test methods, then you can use include and exclude tags. So then what is the XML tag if there are groups in your classes? So this XML file looks like that. Suit tag, name equal to the name of the group, parallel equal to none, and test tag name equal to test groups, and groups keyword, then run. Then run tag inside you have a include name smoke, exclude name regression. So run tag ends, groups tag ends. Then close, so classes tag will start. Okay, so these groups are available in which class? That class names you need to specify under classes tag using each individual class tag. Class tag then name attribute equal to package dot class name. So that means this class contains this smoke group test cases. And then second class, how many classes are there with the groups? Those classes you can specify under classes tag. So package name dot class name 2. Then close the classes tag. All the classes are over, you close the classes tag. See, open close classes tag, close classes tag. So here also class tag opens here, class tag is ending here. Class tag opens here, class tag is ending here. See the forward slash, that's end tag. So test tag is ending, suit tag is ending. This is the complete suit file with the groups. Okay, so that's then you're specifying, instructing here, run only smoke group related test case from these classes. Only smoke test case will execute there. Regression test case are there, they won't execute. You clearly mentioned exclude them. So they will exclude the regression groups, regression related test cases. So that is this include and exclude tags. Next, we have invocation count. So you want to run particular test case multiple times. Then you can use invocation count. Same test method, you want to repeat n number of times. Then this is the keyword you have to use. @test invocation count equal to 3 or 4 or 5 you give. That many times the same test method will execute, repeats, and then it will go to next test methods. That's invocation. So if you want to execute a particular test case multiple times, then so this is the keyword you need to use, invocation count keyword you have to use. Then success percentage. The percentage of success expected from this method. The percentage of success expected from this method. How much percentage of you're expecting success? So 100% or 90% success you're expecting, that you can get this. You can write @test success percentage is 90 or 100. You can write, if it is completely successful, you can put 100. Timeout. Timeout. So the maximum number of milliseconds this test method will take to execute. So that's a timeout. Otherwise, it will time out. If it is not finishing within the specified amount of time, then you will get a timeout exception. @test timeout equal to 3000 milliseconds. 3 seconds it will come. Thread pool size. So thread pool size, the size of the thread pool for this test method. So the method will be invoked from multiple threads as specified by the invocation count. Suppose you have used invocation count. So maximum there will be 5 threads will be there. Suppose you're running parallelly your test cases and multiple browsers you're running. So this thread pool size you have to specify. Thread count you have to specify. So maximum 5 threads. So that means 5 browser instances only you can launch, not more than that. That time you will use this thread pool size. Basically, so each browser one instance will create, one thread will create, that on that thread, so we'll run your test cases. So that browser instance, that is the thread pool size, very important. So that time when you're running a parallelly, when you're running different browsers, this thread pool size is a very, very important concept. Then priority. So which test case you want to execute first? So you can specify with a priority keyword at the rate test priority equal to 1, 2, 3. Like that, you can specify priority, the lowest priority will execute first. So there are a lot of interview questions on this priority keyword. Can we give priority string? Can we give priority double data? So this all no, only integer numbers you can give. Can you give negative values for the priority? Yes, but no float values, no string values, but only you can give integer numbers, either positive or negative numbers. So negative numbers means the lowest number that will execute first. Okay, so this is the kind of questions you will get in the priority. I had given in the below the interview questions also, you can go through that. So all the interview questions. So this is the, even you can specify the particular method of a class. For example, this is the groups related, right? And in this class, I want to execute only test method, but I want to exclude test2 method. So you can put class tag, then methods tag, then include name test method. This is the method of this class, at the rate test method. At the rate test method, this is the method name I am giving here. I'm telling, okay, execute this method only from this class. I'm saying exclude this test2, you exclude, don't run this. I'm saying then close the methods tag, close the class tag. Then next class you can start again. So this is how you can include and exclude methods also from particular class. So groups you can include, exclude, and methods of particular class also you can include and exclude using include tag and exclude tag. So that's all. Reports, there are three kinds of reports are there. Why do you need reports? First of all, what is the importance of reporting? The reporting main purpose is it helps you to identify the status of your test case, pass, fail, skip. What is the status? So that's a main point of reporting. So using reports, we can calculate the total time taken by each test case. That will help you. So how much time it is taking, how much time we can reduce, you can calculate easily. You can share automation reports with your team and clients, as well as to share the status of testing progress. So these are all the advantages of or importance of reporting. So there are three types of reports we have: default test.html, emailable-report.html, index.html. These are the three reports you have in Testng by default. So when you run as a Testng, it will create a test-output folder in the project directory. In this directory, you can find these folders: default test.html, emailable-report.html, index.html. These are the three HTML reports you can see under a test output folder. So in this folder, it will generate for you automatically. Once first time if you run, this folder will generate. Under that folder, you will get this default test.html, emailable report.html, index.html reports. Okay. So that's it. One of the important thing. And then let's see, how can you run test cases parallelly, classes parallelly, and methods parallelly? There is a one simple attribute is there, that is parallel equal to methods, parallel equal to test, parallel equal to classes. If you specify, and thread count, I told you, right, thread count. So when you are running a parallelly methods, tests, classes, you have to specify the thread count. This is the thread count. So then that test, this is a test means test tags here. Then classes means classes will run parallel. Methods means methods of the classes will run parallel. So that's the parallel equal to methods means Testng will run all your test methods in separate threads. Okay. So parallel equal to test means the Testng will run all the methods inside the test tag in the same thread. but each test tag will be in separate thread. So that's the parallel equal to test means. Parallel equal to classes, Testng will run all the methods in the same class in the same thread, but each class will be run in separate thread. Each class will run in separate thread. So that's the parallel execution. How can you do? And how to set the preserve order? So suppose you have multiple classes, right? Multiple classes. Which class you want to run in the same order you want to preserve? You want to run in the same order whatever you specified in the classes tag. If you specify in the test tag preserve -order equal to false, then it will run on the same order. So that's a one point you need to remember that. Then we have assertions, Testng assertions. We have assert equals method. You have expected result and actual value, both will be compared. That's a assert equals method. Then asserted true method. So you are expecting to be true, but what is there in this? You will give a Boolean comments. Boolean code you will give here, and that will return a true or false based on the output. This will pass. So asserted true, you have a overloaded methods again here. Boolean commands and customized message also you can pass. So this is the assert to true and assert equals to these two methods you can use. And there are soft assertions and hard assertions are there. Soft assertions means, so the test don't stop running even if your assertion condition fails, but the test itself is marked as a failed, then it will continue till the end. All the code will execute. That's a soft assertions. But there is a hard assertions. Test immediately fail and stop executing the moment of a failure occurs in the assertion. If particular line it failed, there itself it will terminate your program. It won't continue further. That's a hard assertions. That's a hard assertion, soft assertions. So that I'll show you in one example, one of the examples, how to do that. Then another very important concept, how can you run rerunning failed test cases? So you want to rerun failed test cases. So in the test output folder, one testng-failed.xml file will generate with the failed test cases. Now you correct the test cases, then you go and run the test cases. Only failed test cases you can run it. That's how you can run failed test cases. That's the answer you have to give. How can you run failed test cases? Test type an output folder inside. One testng-failed.xml file will generate with the failed test cases only. First you correct the failed test cases, then you go run as a testng suite. Then all the failed test cases will run. You don't need to run, for example, 100 test cases are there. So 80 test cases passed, 20 test cases failed. Only 20 test cases you can run with this testng.xml. You don't need to run again 100 test cases again and again. So that will take more time, right? You can avoid that time by just following this XML testng-xml file and right click and run as a suite, and your test cases will run only failed test cases. Now, this is the one of the interview question. So make sure you answer this, okay? So that's all about the interview questions. Here you have interview questions. You can just let me go through some of them. Can you give a priority as a 0? Yes, you can give a priority 0. Can we give a negative values as a priority? Yes, you can give. Can we give decimal values as a priority? No, you should not give. So in testng class, we don't give any priority for the test methods. Then what will be the order of your test case execution? So what order it will execute? If you don't give priority, only at the test method name will be there. So the alphabetical order of the method name will take. If you don't give any priority, it will take the alphabetical order of the method. Then it will run first that one. So we have 4 methods under testng class. 2 we set priority and other 2 we didn't set priority. Then what is the order of your test case execution? All these questions asked in the many interviews. That's why I included here. Every question asked in the interview. Every question asked in the interviews. So go through this questions again and again. So the order of execution is first, which one you didn't set priority, those 2 will execute first. Then which one you set priority, then those things will execute later. So why, sir, we set a priority first? First priority should execute. No, if you don't set the priority will be treated as a 0. So, and then the alphabetical order of the method name will take again priority. Even though if both priority is same, then alphabetical order will take a precedence. So that's how the code will execute the test methods in the class. We have given same priority for all the methods. Then what will be the order of test case execution? Then the answer you have to give. What is the answer? Alphabetical order of the method name it will execute. So priority is same for all the methods. In Testng class, few methods we set priority and few methods are not set the priority. I think I covered already this one. So if we give same priority for both the methods, then which one will get executed first? An alphabetical order of the test method. These two are the repeated questions. We can remove them. We have multiple test methods and we have given priority as a 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the fourth method we set depends on method, and on the third one. Now, what is the sequence of execution now? So you given priority for the 4 test methods: 1, 2 @test, priority equal to 1, @test, priority equal to 2, @test, priority equal to 3, @test, priority equal to 4, and one test method you set the depends on method equal to 3. Then first 3 will execute, then it will come to 4. So that's the order of execution. So 1, 2, 3 will execute, then it will come to 4. So in the JUnit and Testng framework, which one you will prefer and why? So obviously you say Testng. So tell all the advantages of Testng. So what are listeners? So I'll tell you what are the listeners later. Okay. So all this I'll cover later. So these are all the interview questions they have covered. Okay. I'm just stopping here.